Liam stood in the doorway of their shared bedroom, his hands trembling as he held the acceptance letter from Sterling University. After 3 years of marriage, he had finally gotten into the graduate program for biochemistry. He wanted to share this moment with his alpha husband, Ethan. "Ethan, I got accepted," Liam called out, his heart racing with excitement. Ethan looked up from his laptop, barely glancing at the letter. "That's nice. Can you make dinner? I have an important meeting tomorrow." Liam's smile faded. "Did you even read it? This is one of the best programs in the country." "Liam, you're an Omega. Why do you need more education? You should focus on the home." Ethan returned his attention to his screen. Something inside Liam cracked. For 3 years, he had heard variations of this same dismissal. He had given up his dreams, his friends, and his identity to be the perfect Omega spouse. He had believed Ethan when he said alphas knew what was best. "I'm more than just an Omega," Liam said quietly. Ethan laughed without humor. "Of course you are. You're my Omega. That should be enough." That night, Liam packed a single suitcase. He left his wedding ring on the nightstand with a simple note: "I deserve someone who sees all of me, not just my designation." By morning, he was on a bus to Sterling City, 300 miles away from everything he had known. The first week was brutal. Liam lived in a tiny studio apartment with barely any furniture. He worked double shifts at a cafe near campus to pay for tuition. His body ached, and loneliness crept in during quiet moments. But something else grew inside him too, something he hadn't felt in years: hope. At the university, Liam met Professor Adrian Chun, a beta who taught advanced biochemistry. Adrian was kind, patient, and most importantly, he treated every student with equal respect regardless of their designation. "Your analysis on protein synthesis was excellent," Adrian said after class one day. "Have you considered research work?" Liam felt his cheeks warm. "I would love that, but I'm not sure I'm qualified." "You're more than qualified. Being an Omega doesn't make you less capable. In fact, Omegas often have enhanced attention to detail that makes them excellent researchers." Those words planted a seed in Liam's heart. Meanwhile, back in their old city, Ethan came home to an empty house. At first, he was angry. How dare Liam leave without permission? But as days turned into weeks, anger transformed into confusion, then slowly into something that felt like regret. His mother visited and found the house in disarray. "Where is Liam?" "He left. He wanted to go to school or something ridiculous like that." His mother's expression turned cold. "Ethan, I raised you better than this. Your father and I have been bonded for 35 years because we respect each other. What did you do?" "I didn't do anything. He's just being emotional." "You treated your Omega like a servant, didn't you?" His mother shook her head. "Liam was always too good for you. I hope you realize what you've lost before it's too late." Back in Sterling City, Liam's life began to bloom. He joined a study group where he met other Omegas, Betas, and even some Alphas who treated him as an equal. He published his first research paper with Adrian's guidance. He learned to laugh again. One evening, Liam's phone rang. It was Ethan. "Liam, please come home. We need to talk." "I am home," Liam replied calmly. "And there's nothing to talk about. You can't just throw away 3 years of marriage." "I'm not throwing it away. You did that every time you dismissed my dreams. Every time you treated me like I was less than you. I gave you everything. A house, security, my name. But you never gave me respect. You never saw me." Liam's voice remained steady. "Goodbye, Ethan." He hung up and blocked the number. That weekend, Liam attended a university mixer where he met Kai, an Alpha graduate student in the engineering department. Kai had warm brown eyes and an easy smile. When they talked, Kai asked about Liam's research, his dreams, his favorite books. Not once did Kai mention Liam's designation. "I find it fascinating how you're approaching the problem from a completely different angle," Kai said enthusiastically. "Would you want to grab coffee sometime and tell me more about it?" Liam smiled, genuinely happy. "I'd like that." As Liam walked home that night, snowflakes began to fall. He tilted his face up to the sky and felt something he hadn't experienced in years: freedom. He was building a life on his own terms, surrounded by people who valued him for his mind, his heart, and his determination. He didn't know that back in his old city, Ethan had finally read the acceptance letter Liam had left behind. He didn't know that Ethan was staring at their wedding photo, beginning to understand the depth of his mistakes. But even if Liam had known, it wouldn't have mattered. He was finally learning to love himself, and that was the most important love story of all. 3 months had passed since Liam left. The spring semester at Sterling University was in full swing, and Liam found himself thriving in ways he never imagined possible. His research on enzyme behavior had caught the attention of several professors, and he was being considered for a prestigious summer internship at a pharmaceutical company. Coffee with Kai had turned into regular study sessions at the library. Kai was different from any alpha Liam had ever met. He carried Liam's heavy textbooks without making it seem like a big deal. He brought extra snacks because he noticed Liam sometimes forgot to eat when deep in research. Most importantly, he listened when Liam spoke about his work with genuine interest sparkling in his eyes. "You explained that so clearly," Kai said one afternoon, looking up from the notes Liam had shared. "Have you ever thought about teaching?" Liam laughed softly. "My ex-husband used to say education was wasted on omegas." Kai's expression darkened. "Your ex-husband was an idiot." The simple declaration made Liam's heart flutter. There was no pity in Kai's voice, just matter-of-fact support. "I'm starting to realize that," Liam admitted. Their friendship was easy and comfortable. Kai never pushed for more, seeming content to simply exist in Liam's orbit. But Liam couldn't deny the growing warmth he felt whenever Kai smiled at him. Meanwhile, Ethan's world was crumbling. His career as a financial analyst had always been his pride, but lately he couldn't focus. He burned dinner almost every night because he forgot Liam wasn't there to cook. The house felt too large and too empty. His colleagues noticed his declining performance. "Ethan, you've missed 3 important deadlines," his boss said during a review meeting. "What's going on?" "Personal issues," Ethan muttered. "Fix them. You're on thin ice." That evening, Ethan drove past the cafe where he first met Liam 5 years ago. Back then, Liam had been a bright-eyed college student working part-time, and Ethan had been immediately drawn to his gentle omega scent and sweet smile. He remembered feeling proud when Liam agreed to date him, even prouder when Liam accepted his bond proposal. When had that pride turned into something ugly? When had he started seeing Liam as a possession rather than a partner? Ethan pulled out his phone and searched social media for any trace of Liam. He found nothing. Liam had deleted all his accounts before leaving. It was as if he had vanished completely. Desperate, Ethan called Liam's best friend, Marcus. "What do you want?" Marcus answered coldly. "I need to find Liam. I need to talk to him." "You had 3 years to talk to him, to actually listen to him. You think he wants to hear from you now?" "Marcus, please. I made mistakes. I know that now. I just need a chance to apologize." "You don't get it, do you? Liam doesn't need your apology. He's finally happy." Marcus paused. "Stay away from him, Ethan. You've done enough damage." The line went dead. Back in Sterling City, Liam was at a campus event celebrating Omega achievements in STEM fields. He had been asked to speak about his research journey, and despite his nervousness, he agreed. Standing at the podium, looking at the crowd of students and professors, Liam felt a surge of confidence. "I was told that my designation made me less capable." Liam began, his voice steady. "I was told that my dreams were too big, that I should be satisfied with less. But I'm here today to tell you that our designation doesn't define our potential. Only we get to decide what we're capable of achieving." The room erupted in applause. Kai, sitting in the front row, beamed at him with such pride that Liam's omega instincts hummed with pleasure. After the event, Adrian approached Liam with exciting news. "The pharmaceutical company loved your research proposal. They want you for the summer internship, and they're offering a stipend that's twice the normal amount." Liam could hardly believe it. 6 months ago, he had been crying in an empty apartment, wondering if he had made a terrible mistake. Now opportunities were opening up everywhere he looked. "Professor, I don't know how to thank you," Liam said. his eyes glistening. Thank yourself. You did the work. I just gave you the platform. That evening, Liam and Kai celebrated at a small restaurant near campus. Over pasta and wine, their conversation flowed easily from research to childhood memories to future dreams. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Kai asked. Liam thought carefully. Finishing my PhD, maybe starting my own research lab. Somewhere I feel valued and respected. He smiled. What about you? Honestly, wherever makes me happy. Wherever the people I care about are. Kai's gaze was warm and direct. Liam, I know you're still healing from your past, and I respect that. But I want you to know that I see you. All of you. And I think you're amazing. Liam's breath caught. This was so different from how Ethan had pursued him, with grand gestures and overwhelming alpha presence. Kai's approach was gentle, patient, giving Liam space to choose. Kai, Liam started, but his phone buzzed insistently. It was an unknown number, but when Liam answered, he recognized the voice immediately. Liam, it's me. Please don't hang up. Ethan's voice was strained. I got your new number from the university directory. I need to see you. I need to explain. I've realized what I did wrong. I want to make things right. Please, baby, just give me one chance. Liam looked at Kai, who was watching with concern but not judgment. In that moment, Liam realized something important. He wasn't the same person who had left that note on the nightstand. He had grown, changed, become stronger. Ethan, we have nothing to discuss, Liam said firmly. Don't call this number again. Don't try to find me. Move on with your life like I'm moving on with mine. But we're bonded. You can't just. Actually, I can. The divorce papers were sent to your address 2 weeks ago. You should have received them by now. Silence on the other end. Goodbye, Ethan. I wish you well, but I wish you well far away from me. Liam hung up and immediately blocked the number. His hands were shaking slightly, but not from fear. From the power of finally closing that chapter completely. You okay? Kai asked softly. Yeah, Liam said, and he meant it. I really am. Ethan stared at the divorce papers spread across his kitchen table. The legal words blurred together, but one phrase stood out. Irreconcilable differences. His signature line waited at the bottom, mocking him. He hadn't signed them. He couldn't. His mother's words echoed in his mind. You have to let him go if you ever loved him at all. But Ethan wasn't sure he knew how to let go. Liam had been part of his life for 5 years, part of his identity. A dangerous thought formed in Ethan's mind. If Liam wouldn't talk to him on the phone, maybe he needed to see Ethan in person. Maybe if they were face to face, Liam would remember the good times. Maybe Ethan could fix this. He booked a train ticket to Sterling City for the following weekend. At Sterling University, Liam was deep into his research project. The lab had become his sanctuary, a place where his omega senses actually gave him an advantage. He could detect subtle changes in chemical reactions that others missed. His meticulous note-taking and attention to detail impressed everyone around him. Liam, you've been here for 6 hours straight, Adrian said, poking his head into the lab. Go home. Rest. The proteins will still be here tomorrow. Liam smiled sheepishly. Just finishing these calculations. That's what you said 2 hours ago. Adrian's expression softened. You don't have to prove yourself anymore. Everyone here already knows you're brilliant. Those words struck Liam deeply. He was still learning that lesson, still unlearning years of being told he needed to work twice as hard to be seen as half as good. That weekend, Kai invited Liam to a cherry blossom festival in the city park. Liam wore a soft blue sweater that brought out his eyes, and when Kai saw him, the alpha's face lit up with appreciation. You look beautiful, Kai said simply. Liam ducked his head, pleased. With Kai, compliments felt genuine rather than possessive. The festival was magical. Pink petals drifted through the air like snow. Families picnicked on blankets while children chased each other around trees. Liam and Kai walked slowly through the paths, occasionally stopping to admire particularly stunning trees. I haven't felt this peaceful in years, Liam admitted. You deserve peace, Kai replied. You deserve everything good. They stopped at a food vendor selling traditional sweets. As Kai paid, Liam looked around at the crowd, and his heart suddenly stopped. There, standing near the festival entrance, was Ethan. Their eyes met across the distance. Ethan looked different. Thinner, tired, with dark circles under his eyes. But it was definitely him. And he was walking toward them. "Liam," Ethan called out. Kai immediately stepped closer to Liam, his alpha instincts protective but not aggressive. "Is that him?" Liam nodded, his mouth dry. "What are you doing here, Ethan?" "I came to see you. To talk." Ethan's eyes flickered to Kai with poorly concealed hostility. "Alone?" "No," Liam said firmly. "Whatever you need to say, you can say it here." Ethan looked around at the festival crowd, clearly uncomfortable. "Fine. I want you to come home. I want us to fix our marriage. I know I made mistakes, but we can work through them. I sent you divorce papers, which I haven't signed. Liam, we're bonded. That means something. We took vows." Kai remained silent, letting Liam handle the situation but staying close enough to intervene if needed. "Those vows meant something when they were respected by both people," Liam said. "You broke them long before I left. I can change. I've been going to therapy. I'm learning about alpha-omega dynamics and how outdated my thinking was." Ethan's voice cracked. "Please, I love you. Do you?" Liam asked quietly. "Or do you just miss having someone to control? That's not fair. I gave you everything, except respect, except partnership, except the chance to be my own person." Liam's voice was sad but firm. "Ethan, I don't want to hurt you, but I don't love you anymore. Maybe I never did. Maybe I just loved who I thought you could be." "Is it because of him?" Ethan glared at Kai. "Did this alpha fill your head with ideas about leaving me?" Kai spoke for the first time, his voice calm but with an edge of steel. "Liam makes his own decisions. Unlike you, I respect his autonomy." Ethan took a step forward, his alpha pheromones flaring in challenge. Several people in the crowd turned to look. Omega instinct urged Liam to step back, to submit, but he fought against it. "Don't," Liam warned. "Don't make a scene. Don't embarrass yourself more than you already have." "I embarrassed myself? You're the one who abandoned your marriage to play scientist with some." "Choose your next words very carefully," Kai interrupted, his own alpha presence rising to match Ethan's. The tension was thick enough to cut. Liam could feel anxious glances from nearby festival goers. This was exactly the kind of alpha posturing that he hated, the kind that treated omegas like prizes to be won. "Stop it. Both of you." Liam stepped between them. "This isn't about either of you fighting over me. This is about me choosing myself." He turned to Ethan. "I'm not coming back. Sign the papers. Move on. Find someone who actually wants the kind of relationship you're offering." "And what if I don't? What if I fight this divorce? Then you'll waste your time and money on a battle you can't win." "I'm done, Ethan. We're done." Liam took Kai's hand and walked away, leaving Ethan standing alone among the cherry blossoms. His heart was pounding, but not from fear, from freedom. "That was incredibly brave," Kai said softly once they were out of earshot. "It was terrifying," Liam admitted, "but also necessary." He squeezed Kai's hand. "Thank you for being there but letting me handle it. Always." They spent the rest of the festival together, and slowly the tension drained from Liam's body. By sunset, when they sat on a bench watching the pink petals glow in the golden light, Liam felt at peace again. "Kai, I need to be honest with you," Liam said. "I'm not ready for a relationship yet. I need time to fully heal, to become completely independent." "I know," Kai replied. "I'm not going anywhere. I'm happy to be your friend for however long you need. And if someday you're ready for more, I'll still be here. But only if that's what you want." Liam leaned his head on Kai's shoulder. "You're pretty amazing, you know that?" "I learned from the best," Kai said, and Liam could hear the smile in his voice. Across the park, Ethan watched them from a distance. Something in his chest ached as he saw how gentle Kai was with Liam, How Liam smiled without any trace of the nervousness he used to have around Ethan. Maybe his mother was right. Maybe loving someone meant letting them go when holding on only caused pain. But Ethan wasn't ready to admit defeat. Not yet. Monday morning brought an unexpected storm. Liam arrived at the lab to find Adrian waiting for him with a concerned expression. "Liam, we need to talk in my office." Liam's stomach dropped. Had he done something wrong with his research? In the office, Adrian closed the door carefully. "I received a call this morning from someone claiming to be your husband. He said you're experiencing some kind of omega crisis and need to return home immediately. He asked me to encourage you to take a leave of absence." Anger flashed through Liam, hot and fierce. "He's not my husband anymore, and I'm not having any kind of crisis. I figured as much. I told him that your personal life is none of my concern unless it affects your work, which it clearly doesn't. Your research is outstanding." Adrian paused. "But I wanted you to know he's trying to interfere. Thank you for telling me." Liam's hands clenched into fists. How dare Ethan try to sabotage his career? That evening, Liam received an email from the pharmaceutical company. His internship offer had been put on hold pending review of personal circumstances. Attached was a formal letter expressing concerns about his stability and commitment based on information received from a concerned party. Liam knew immediately who had contacted them. He called Marcus, his best friend from his old city. "Ethan is trying to destroy everything I've built." "That manipulative jerk," Marcus growled. "What can I do? Be a character reference if I need one. I'm going to fight this." Liam spent that night drafting emails to the company's HR department, explaining the situation clearly and professionally. He provided documentation of his academic achievements, letters of recommendation from multiple professors, and a restraining order application against Ethan. The next morning, he filed the restraining order at the Sterling City Courthouse. It felt like a huge step, making the break official not just personally but legally. Kai accompanied him to the courthouse, taking a day off from his own studies. "You shouldn't have to do this alone. You're missing your advanced robotics seminar," Liam protested. "They record the lectures. You're more important." Those simple words made Liam's eyes burn with grateful tears. The judge reviewed Liam's petition, including records of Ethan's unwanted contact, his appearance at the festival, and his attempts to interfere with Liam's career. "I'm granting a temporary restraining order," the judge said. "The respondent must stay at least 500 feet away from you and cease all contact. A hearing will be scheduled for a permanent order in 30 days. Walking out of the courthouse, Liam felt lighter than he had in days. But Ethan wasn't finished. That afternoon, he showed up at Sterling University despite the restraining order. Campus security stopped him at the main gate. "I need to see my husband. This is urgent," Ethan insisted. "Sir, we have a restraining order on file. If you don't leave immediately, we'll call the police." "You don't understand. He's my omega. He's confused. He needs me. Sir, last warning." Ethan left, but his desperation was growing into something dangerous. Meanwhile, the pharmaceutical company responded to Liam's email. After reviewing his impressive credentials and speaking with his references, they not only reinstated his internship offer but also apologized for the confusion. They had verified that the concerned party had no legitimate connection to their company or decision-making process. "They tried to file a complaint claiming you were mentally unstable," the HR director explained over the phone. "But your professors all confirmed you're one of the most focused and capable students they've worked with. We should have verified the source before acting. This internship is yours if you still want it." "I absolutely want it," Liam said, relief flooding through him. That weekend, Liam celebrated with his friend group from university. They went to a karaoke bar, and Liam surprised everyone by singing a powerful ballad about freedom and self-discovery. His voice wavered at first but grew stronger with each verse. "I didn't know you could sing like that," exclaimed Sophie, a beta in his study group. "I used to love singing," Liam admitted. "But Ethan said it was silly. I guess I forgot how much I enjoyed it." "Sing another one," the group cheered. Liam did, choosing a fun upbeat song this time. Kai watched from the side with such warm affection that several of their friends exchanged knowing looks. After karaoke, the group walked to a late-night diner. Over fries and milkshakes, they talked and laughed until nearly 2 in the morning. Liam couldn't remember the last time he had felt so included, so genuinely happy. "You're glowing," Sophie observed. "It's nice to see you like this. I feel like I'm finally becoming who I was always meant to be," Liam said. Kai drove Liam home that night. They sat in the car outside Liam's apartment building, neither quite ready to say goodbye. "Liam, I have to tell you something," Kai said nervously. "I know you said you're not ready for a relationship, and I respect that completely. But I need you to know that I'm falling for you. Not just because you're smart or talented, but because of who you are as a person. Your kindness, your strength, your determination to build a better life." He took a deep breath. "I'm not asking for anything. I just needed to be honest." Liam's heart raced. He could feel his Omega instincts responding to Kai's alpha presence, but this time it felt right rather than overwhelming. "Kai, I care about you too, so much, but I'm scared. What if I'm just jumping from one alpha to another? What if I haven't actually healed?" "Then we wait," Kai said simply. "I meant what I said. I'm not going anywhere. Take all the time you need. Work on yourself. Become the person you want to be. If at the end of that journey you decide you want to explore something with me, I'll be honored. If you decide you're better off alone or with someone else, I'll still be your friend and cheer you on. How are you so patient? Because you're worth waiting for." Liam leaned across the console and kissed Kai's cheek softly. "Thank you for everything." Back in his old city, Ethan sat in his dark living room, scrolling through old photos of him and Liam. He had lost his job that week due to continued poor performance. The house felt like a tomb. His friends had stopped calling after he spent every conversation complaining about Liam leaving. He picked up his phone and dialed his mother. "Ethan?" She answered with surprise. "It's late. I messed up, Mom. I messed up everything." "I know, sweetie. What do I do?" "You let him go. You sign those divorce papers. You respect the restraining order. And then you work on yourself so you never treat someone like that again." "But I love him." "No, honey. You loved the idea of him, the convenience of him. Real love means wanting someone to be happy, even if it's not with you." His mother's voice was gentle but firm. "Sign the papers. Start therapy properly. Learn from this." That night, for the first time since Liam left, Ethan cried. He cried for what he had lost, for who he had become, and for the future he had destroyed with his own hands. And finally, he began to understand. 2 months passed, and Liam's life continued to flourish. The summer internship at the pharmaceutical company was incredible. He worked on cutting-edge research developing new treatments for autoimmune diseases. His supervisor, Dr. Helena Park, was a distinguished Omega scientist who had broken countless barriers in her field. "You remind me of myself at your age," Dr. Park told Liam during a lunch meeting. "Hungry to prove yourself, brilliant but underestimated." "How did you handle the discrimination?" Liam asked. "By being undeniably excellent. By surrounding myself with people who valued competence over designation. And by never, ever apologizing for taking up space in rooms where people didn't expect to find me." She smiled. "You're already doing all of that." Liam's research paper was accepted for presentation at a national biochemistry conference in the fall. When he received the acceptance email, he literally jumped up and down in his apartment. He called Kai immediately. "I got in. They accepted my paper. That's amazing. We have to celebrate. Dinner tomorrow night." Definitely. Their friendship had deepened into something beautiful and stable. Kai never pushed for more than Liam was ready to give, but the affection between them was undeniable. They studied together, cooked meals together, and spent lazy Sunday afternoons at the botanical gardens discussing everything from science to philosophy to their dreams for the future. Liam was learning what healthy love looked like. Patient, respectful, encouraging rather than limiting. One evening, Liam received an unexpected email from Ethan's lawyer. The divorce papers had finally been signed. Ethan had also dropped his opposition to the permanent restraining order. "It's over," Liam whispered, staring at the email. He should have felt relief, but instead, he felt a strange mix of emotions. Sadness for the time he had lost, anger at how he had been treated, but also gratitude. If things hadn't fallen apart, he never would have discovered his own strength. He never would have found this new life. That weekend, Liam visited a tattoo parlor. He had been planning this for weeks. On his inner wrist, he got a small design, a bird breaking free from a cage. It was simple but meaningful. "New beginning?" the artist asked as she worked. "Something like that," Liam smiled. He sent a photo of the tattoo to his study group chat. The responses were immediate and enthusiastic. Sophie, "Beautiful. Very symbolic." Marcus, who had driven up from the old city to visit last month, "Perfect for you." Kai, "It suits you perfectly." That evening, Kai picked Liam up for their celebration dinner. He had made reservations at an elegant restaurant with a view of the city lights. "This is fancy," Liam said, looking around at the white tablecloths and soft lighting. "You deserve fancy," Kai replied. "You're presenting at a national conference. That's huge." Over dinner, they talked about the conference, Liam's research, and Kai's progress on his engineering thesis. The conversation flowed easily, comfortably, like they had known each other for years rather than months. "Liam," Kai said during dessert, "can I ask you something personal?" "Of course. How are you feeling about everything? The divorce, your ex, all of it?" Liam considered the question carefully. "Honestly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful he showed me what I don't want. I'm grateful I had the courage to leave. I'm grateful for everyone I've met since then, especially you." He paused. "I think I'm finally ready to start thinking about the future instead of just surviving the present." "What does that future look like?" "Finishing my PhD. Maybe teaching someday, showing other Omegas that they can succeed in science. Having relationships built on mutual respect." Liam met Kai's eyes. "Being with someone who sees me as an equal partner. That sounds like a beautiful future. I'd like you to be in it," Liam said softly. "If you're still interested, not as just friends, as something more." Kai's face broke into the biggest smile Liam had ever seen. "I've been interested since the day I met you in that university mixer. I'm just glad you finally feel ready." "I'm nervous," Liam admitted. "What if I'm still carrying too much baggage? What if I mess this up? Then we'll figure it out together. That's what partners do." Kai reached across the table and took Liam's hand. "I'm not Ethan. I'm not going to try to control you or limit you. Your dreams are my dreams. Your success makes me happy. I want to support you in becoming the best version of yourself." Tears pricked at Liam's eyes. "How are you real? I could ask you the same thing." They left the restaurant walking hand in hand. The night air was warm and full of possibility. At Liam's apartment door, Kai pulled him close. "Can I kiss you?" Kai asked, always respectful, always asking permission. "Please," Liam breathed. The kiss was gentle and sweet, full of promise and patience. It felt nothing like the possessive kisses he had experienced before. This felt like coming home to a place he didn't even know he'd been searching for. When they pulled apart, both were smiling. "Good night, Liam." "Good night, Kai." Liam floated into his apartment, his heart full. He looked around at the space he had built for himself. The desk covered in research papers, the bookshelf full of biochemistry texts, the photos of his new friends on the walls. This was his life, built by his own hands according to his own rules. His phone buzzed with a text from his mother, who he had finally told about the divorce last month. "Proud of you, sweetheart. Always have been, always will be." Liam smiled and replied, "Love you, Mom." Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, Ethan sat in his therapist's office for his weekly session. "I signed the divorce papers," Ethan said, "and I'm trying to move on." "That's progress," Dr. Williams nodded. "How does it feel?" "Like I lost something precious because I didn't know how to value it properly." Ethan looked down at his hands. "I see now that I was trying to make Liam fit into this box of what I thought an Omega should be, instead of loving who he actually was." What have you learned from this experience? That love without respect isn't really love. That a person's designation doesn't define their worth or their dreams. That I need to work on my own insecurities and outdated beliefs before I can be a good partner to anyone. Ethan took a deep breath. And that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone go. Those are important realizations. I just hope Liam is happy. I hope wherever he is, he's with people who appreciate him the way I never did. Dr. Williams smiled. That's growth, Ethan. Real growth. That night, Ethan looked at the signed divorce papers one last time before putting them in the mail. It hurt, but it was the right kind of hurt. The hurt of setting a broken bone, painful but necessary for proper healing. He didn't know that Liam was happy. He didn't know about the research success, the new relationship, or the confidence blooming in the Omega he had once dismissed. But somewhere deep down, Ethan hoped Liam was soaring. Fall arrived with crisp air and golden leaves. Liam stood in front of his closet, trying to decide what to wear for his first day presenting at the National Biochemistry Conference. Kai lounged on his bed, offering opinions. The blue button-down, Kai suggested. It makes your eyes stand out. Liam smiled. They had been officially dating for 2 months now, and every day felt like discovering something new and wonderful. Kai had a key to Liam's apartment, and Liam had one to Kai's. They studied together, cooked together, and talked about their future with easy confidence. You're going to do amazing, Kai said, coming to stand behind Liam and wrapping his arms around his waist. Those researchers are going to be blown away by your work. What if I freeze up? What if someone asks a question I can't answer? Then you'll say, that's an excellent question. Let me research that further. You're allowed to not know everything. Kai kissed the top of Liam's head. Besides, you know your research better than anyone. You've got this. The conference was being held at a large hotel in the city center. When Liam arrived, he was amazed by the scale. Hundreds of researchers from around the country filled the halls, discussing their work with enthusiasm. Dr. Park found him in the crowd. Nervous, terrified, Liam admitted. Good. That means you care. Come on. Let me introduce you to some people. Dr. Park guided Liam through the conference, introducing him to other Omega researchers, including several who had faced similar discrimination in their careers. The landscape is changing, Dr. Park said. Slowly, but it's changing. Researchers like you are part of that change. Liam's presentation was scheduled for 2 in the afternoon. His hands shook slightly as he set up his slides, but once he started talking, muscle memory took over. He had practiced this presentation dozens of times. He explained his research clearly and passionately, showing how his work on enzyme behavior could lead to better treatments for autoimmune diseases. The audience listened attentively, asking thoughtful questions that Liam answered with growing confidence. When he finished, the applause was genuine and warm. Several researchers approached him afterward wanting to discuss potential collaborations. You were brilliant, Kai said, having watched from the back of the room. I'm so proud of you. That evening, the conference hosted a networking dinner. Liam wore his best suit and mingled with other researchers, exchanging contact information and discussing future projects. He felt like he belonged here, in this world of science and discovery. He was talking with a group of researchers about protein synthesis when he heard a familiar voice behind him. Liam! He turned, and his blood ran cold. Ethan stood there in a conference visitor badge, looking uncomfortable but determined. What are you doing here? Liam asked, his voice tight. I needed to see you, to apologize properly. Ethan glanced at the other researchers. Could we talk privately? Absolutely not. You have a restraining order. How did you even get in here? I registered as a visitor. I'm staying 500 feet away like the order says. But Liam, please, just 5 minutes. Kai appeared at Liam's side immediately. Is there a problem? No problem, Liam said firmly. This person was just leaving. But Ethan didn't leave. Instead, he pulled out a folder. I wanted to give you these. Photos, letters, things that belong to you from our house. And I wanted to tell you in person that I'm sorry. I'm truly, deeply sorry for how I treated you. Liam's hands trembled as he took the folder. You violated a restraining order to bring me photos? No, I came because I needed you to hear me say it. I was wrong. About everything. You're not just an Omega. You're brilliant and capable, and you deserved so much better than how I treated you. Several researchers were watching now, whispering. Liam felt his face heat with embarrassment and anger. Ethan, I don't care anymore. Your apology doesn't change what happened. It doesn't erase 3 years of being made to feel small. Liam's voice was steady despite his racing heart. I've moved on. I have a life that makes me happy, people who respect me, and a career I'm proud of. I don't need your apology to feel complete. I know. I just needed to say it anyway. Ethan looked at Kai. Take care of him. He's more special than he even knows. I know exactly how special he is, Kai replied coolly. And unlike you, I'll never take that for granted. Ethan nodded slowly. Goodbye, Liam. I hope you have the life you always deserved. He walked away, and Liam felt Kai's hand on his back, steadying him. You okay? Kai asked. Yeah, Liam said, surprising himself by meaning it. Yeah, I really am. Dr. Park approached them. Should we call security? No need. He's leaving. Liam looked at the folder in his hands, then handed it to Kai. Can you throw this away? I don't need anything from my old life. You sure? Completely sure. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. Other researchers congratulated Liam on his presentation, and he exchanged ideas with potential collaborators. By the time the dinner ended, he had collected a dozen business cards and several promising research opportunities. Walking back to his hotel room with Kai, Liam felt lighter than he had in months. That was surreal, he said. Seeing him again. Did it bring up old feelings? No. That's what surprised me. I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, no regret. Just indifference. Liam stopped and turned to face Kai. When I look at him now, I don't see the person I married. I see a stranger who once had power over me but doesn't anymore. That's called healing, Kai said softly. Is it weird that I almost feel sorry for him? No, that's called growth. Kai cupped Liam's face gently. You're not the person you were when you left him. You're stronger, more confident, more yourself. I couldn't have done it without you. Yes, you could have. You did most of this before I was even in the picture. But I'm honored I get to be part of your journey now. They kissed under the streetlights, and Liam felt his heart swell with happiness. This was what love was supposed to feel like. Safe, supportive, free. The next day, Liam presented a workshop on encouraging Omega participation in STEM fields. The room was packed with students and early career researchers. He spoke about his own experiences honestly, including the discrimination he had faced. Your designation is not a limitation, Liam told the crowd. It's just one aspect of who you are. Don't let anyone convince you that you can't achieve your dreams because of it. And if someone tries to hold you back because of outdated beliefs, remember that their narrow thinking is their problem, not yours. After the workshop, a young Omega student approached him with tears in his eyes. Thank you. I needed to hear that. My family keeps pressuring me to quit my engineering program and find an alpha to bond with. Don't quit, Liam said firmly. The world needs more Omega engineers. Be excellent, be persistent, and prove them all wrong by succeeding. The student smiled. Did you prove them wrong? Liam thought about everything he had accomplished in the past year. The research papers, the internship, the conference presentation, the healthy relationship, the genuine friendships. Yeah, he said with satisfaction. I really did. That evening, Liam video called his mother to tell her about the conference. I'm so proud of you, she said, tears in her eyes. I always knew you were meant for great things. Thanks, Mom. I just wish I had believed in myself sooner. You believe in yourself now. That's what matters. After they hung up, Liam sat on his hotel balcony looking out at the city lights. Tomorrow he would return to Sterling University and continue his research. In a few months, he would start his PhD program. Next year, maybe he would publish in a major journal. The possibilities felt endless. Kai came out to join him, handing him a cup of tea. "What are you thinking about?" Kai asked. "How different my life is from a year ago. How happy I am." Liam leaned against Kai's shoulder. "How grateful I am that I was brave enough to leave. I'm grateful too. Otherwise, I never would have met you." They sat together in comfortable silence, watching the world below. Somewhere out there, Ethan was starting his own healing journey. Somewhere out there, other Omegas were fighting for their dreams just like Liam had. But right here, right now, Liam was exactly where he was meant to be. Winter semester began with fresh snow covering the Sterling University campus. Liam had been accepted into the PhD program with a full scholarship and a research assistantship. His days were busy but fulfilling, filled with advanced coursework, lab work, and teaching undergraduate classes. Standing in front of his first class as a teaching assistant, Liam felt nervous energy buzz through him. 20 students stared back at him, waiting. "Good morning. I'm Liam, and I'll be your TA for Biochemistry 201. Before we dive into proteins and enzymes, I want you to know that everyone in this room is capable of understanding this material, regardless of your designation." A young Omega in the front row visibly relaxed at those words. The semester flew by. Liam discovered he loved teaching almost as much as he loved research. He had a gift for breaking down complex concepts into understandable pieces. Students frequently came to his office hours for help, and he always made time for them. "You're a natural teacher?" Adrian commented after observing one of Liam's classes. "Have you thought about academia as a career path?" "I'm considering it," Liam said, "though I'd also love to do research in industry. Maybe both somehow. With your drive, you could definitely do both." Meanwhile, Liam's relationship with Kai continued to deepen. They spent holidays together, Thanksgiving with Kai's family, Christmas with Liam's mother. Both families welcomed them warmly, treating their relationship with respect and joy. Kai's parents were especially kind. His mother pulled Liam aside during Christmas dinner. "I've never seen Kai this happy," she said. "Thank you for bringing light into his life." "He brings light into mine too," Liam replied honestly. New Year's Eve found them at a party hosted by their friend group. At midnight, surrounded by friends and laughter, Kai kissed Liam as fireworks exploded outside. "Happy New Year," Kai whispered. "Happy New Year," Liam replied, thinking about how different this year was from the last. Last year he had been trapped in an unhappy marriage, watching the clock tick toward midnight with a sense of dread. This year, he was free, happy, and surrounded by people who loved him. In January, Liam received news that his research paper had been published in a prestigious journal. He was listed as the lead author with Dr. Park as his advisor. The paper was already generating interest in the scientific community. "This is just the beginning," Dr. Park said. "You have a brilliant career ahead of you, but not everything was perfect." One afternoon, Liam received an email from an unknown address. The subject line read, "You'll always be just an Omega." The email contained vicious attacks on his intelligence, his research, and his worth. It claimed he had only succeeded because of Omega privilege and special treatment. The words were designed to cut deep, to make him doubt himself. Liam felt sick reading it. For a moment, all his old insecurities came rushing back. He showed the email to Kai, who immediately wrapped him in a hug. "This is from someone small and bitter who can't stand to see others succeed. You know it's not true. What if they're right? What if people do think I only succeeded because of my designation? Liam, look at me." Kai held Liam's face in his hands. "You are one of the smartest people I know. Your research is groundbreaking. Your teaching evaluations are off the charts. You earned every single one of your accomplishments through hard work and brilliance. Anyone who says otherwise is lying." Liam reported the email to the university's harassment office. They tracked it back to a bitter former colleague of Dr. Park's who had a history of targeting successful Omega researchers. "Unfortunately, there are still people with outdated views in academia," the dean said when Liam met with him. "But I want you to know that this university stands behind you completely. Your work speaks for itself." The incident shook Liam but ultimately made him more determined. He wrote an op-ed for the university newspaper about discrimination in STEM fields, which was picked up by several national publications. He became an advocate for Omega rights in academia, speaking at panels and mentoring younger students. One of those students was Derek, the young Omega from his workshop at the conference. Derek had transferred to Sterling University specifically to work with Liam. "You're the reason I didn't quit," Derek told him. "You showed me it was possible. You would have figured it out eventually," Liam said. "But I'm glad I could help." Spring brought new opportunities. Liam was invited to present his research at 3 more conferences. A major pharmaceutical company reached out about a summer position with a significant salary. His PhD advisor called him one of the most promising students in the department. But the best part of spring was watching his relationship with Kai continue to grow. They talked about moving in together, about their long-term plans, about building a life as partners. "I've been thinking," Kai said one evening while they cooked dinner together in Liam's apartment. "After we both finish our degrees, what would you think about starting a consulting firm together? You could do biochemistry consulting, I could do engineering. We could work with companies to develop better products and also mentor young researchers." "That sounds amazing," Liam said, his mind already spinning with possibilities. "We could create the kind of supportive environment we both wished we had when we were starting out." "Exactly," Kai smiled. "Build something meaningful together. I love that idea. I love—" Liam stopped, the words catching in his throat. Kai turned to look at him, understanding in his eyes. "You can say it. If you mean it." "I love you," Liam said, the words feeling both terrifying and freeing. "I'm in love with you." "I love you too," Kai replied. "I have for months. I was just waiting for you to be ready to hear it." They kissed, soft and sweet, the pasta sauce bubbling forgotten on the stove. That night, curled up on the couch watching a movie, Liam thought about his journey. From the moment he left Ethan with a single suitcase to now, building a life beyond his wildest dreams. He had learned that he was capable of more than he ever imagined. He had learned that his designation didn't define his worth. He had learned what real love looked like. His phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. "Saw your op-ed. So proud of you. You're changing minds." Liam smiled and replied, "Just trying to make the world a little better, Marcus. You're succeeding." Outside Liam's window, snow began to fall again, soft and gentle. Inside, wrapped in Kai's arms, Liam felt at peace. He had built this life with his own hands, made choices that honored his true self, and surrounded himself with people who lifted him up. He thought briefly about Ethan, hoping his ex-husband had found his own path to healing and growth. There was no bitterness left, only a quiet gratitude for the lessons learned from that painful chapter. "What are you thinking about?" Kai asked, running his fingers through Liam's hair. "How far I've come. How different everything is now." "Any regrets?" "Not a single one," Liam said with certainty. "Every choice led me here, to you, to this life. I wouldn't change any of it. Even the hard parts? Especially the hard parts. They taught me who I really am." Kai kissed his forehead. "And who are you, Liam?" Liam thought about the question seriously. "I'm a researcher, a teacher, a friend, a partner. I'm someone who fought for his dreams and won. I'm someone who knows his worth." He smiled. "I'm not just an Omega. I'm so much more than that. I'm me. And that's more than enough." "It's everything," Kai agreed. They fell asleep like that, tangled together on the couch, the TV playing quietly in the background. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new opportunities. But tonight, Liam was simply content to be exactly where he was, with exactly who he was meant to be with. The journey from that empty house with a single suitcase to this moment had been long and difficult. But every step had been worth it. Every single step. 2 years later, Liam stood at the podium in a packed conference hall. This time not as a nervous graduate student, but as Dr. Liam Foster, PhD. He had successfully defended his dissertation 3 months ago, earning his doctorate in biochemistry with honors. His research had been published in multiple prestigious journals and was already making waves in the pharmaceutical industry. Today, he was the keynote speaker at the National Omega Leadership Conference, an event focused on empowering Omegas in professional fields. When I left my marriage 5 years ago with one suitcase and a dream, Liam began, his voice steady and confident. I had no idea where I would end up. I was terrified. I questioned every decision. I wondered if I was making a mistake walking away from security and stepping into the unknown. The audience of over 500 people listened intently. But I learned something crucial on that journey. Security that comes at the cost of your self-respect, your dreams, and your identity is not really security at all. It's a prison with comfortable furniture. Knowing nods rippled through the crowd. Today, I stand before you as proof that your designation does not determine your destiny. You determine your destiny. Your passion, your intelligence, your perseverance, those are what matter. Not outdated stereotypes about what Omegas can or cannot do. Liam went on to share his story, the struggles and triumphs, the discrimination he faced and how he overcame it. He talked about the importance of supportive mentors, healthy relationships, and believing in yourself even when others don't. And to anyone currently in a situation where you're being told you're not enough, where your dreams are being dismissed, where you're being made to feel small, I want you to know that you have the power to change your story. It won't be easy, but you are worth the fight. The standing ovation lasted for 3 minutes. After his speech, dozens of people approached Liam with their own stories, thanking him for his words. A young Omega with tears in his eyes said, "You gave me the courage to leave my toxic relationship. I start law school next month." "I'm so proud of you," Liam said, meaning it completely. Dr. Park found him in the crowd. "Brilliant speech. You've come so far from that nervous student who first walked into my lab." "I had an excellent mentor," Liam replied. That evening, Liam returned to his new apartment, well, his and Kai's apartment. They had moved in together a year ago, into a beautiful 2-bedroom place near the university. The second bedroom served as a shared office where they both worked on their consulting business. Fosterchin Consulting had officially launched 6 months ago. Liam provided biochemistry and research expertise, while Kai handled engineering and product development. They already had several impressive clients and a waiting list of companies wanting to work with them. More importantly, they had created a paid mentorship program for Omega and Beta students in STEM fields. "How was the conference?" Kai asked, greeting Liam with a kiss when he walked through the door. "Amazing. Exhausting but amazing." Liam collapsed onto their couch. So many people with incredible stories. Kai sat beside him, pulling Liam's feet into his lap for a massage. "I'm not surprised. You inspire people." "We inspire people," Liam corrected. "This isn't just my journey. You've been part of it from the beginning." "Partner in everything," Kai agreed with a smile. Later that week, Liam received an unexpected letter. The return address made his breath catch. It was from Ethan. He stared at the envelope for a long moment before opening it. "Dear Liam, I hope this letter finds you well and that you don't mind me writing. I wanted you to know that I've been following your career from a distance. Not in a creepy way. I promise, your publications are very public. Congratulations on your PhD and your keynote speech. I saw a video of it online. You were incredible. I'm writing because I'm getting married next month. Her name is Sarah, and she's an alpha who owns her own business. We met in therapy actually, both of us working through our issues. She's taught me what a real partnership looks like, what mutual respect means. I wanted to thank you. Losing you was the wake-up call I needed to become a better person. I'm not saying the pain I caused you was somehow good. It wasn't, and I deeply regret it. But your courage to leave forced me to confront things about myself I had been avoiding. I've been in therapy consistently for 4 years now. I've learned about my controlling behaviors, my insecurities, and the toxic beliefs I was raised with about alpha-omega dynamics. I've worked hard to unlearn those patterns. I don't expect forgiveness, and I'm not asking for anything from you. I just wanted you to know that your story, your courage to choose yourself, changed my life too. You deserved so much better than how I treated you, and I'm genuinely happy you found it. I wish you all the happiness in the world. Sincerely, Ethan. Liam read the letter twice, then handed it to Kai. How do you feel? Kai asked after reading it. Glad for him. I really am. It sounds like he did the work to change. Liam leaned against Kai's shoulder. But I also feel incredibly grateful that I didn't wait around hoping he would become that person. I built my own happiness instead. Should you write back? Liam thought about it. Maybe just a short note, congratulating him on his marriage and wishing him well. But that's it. That chapter is closed. He did exactly that, composing a brief but kind response wishing Ethan happiness in his new life. Then he filed the letter away and didn't think about it again. A month later, on a Saturday morning, Liam woke to the smell of coffee and pancakes. He found Kai in the kitchen, cooking breakfast with suspiciously nervous energy. "What's the occasion?" Liam asked, wrapping his arms around Kai from behind. "Can't I make breakfast for my boyfriend without an occasion?" "You absolutely can, but you're acting weird." Kai laughed. "Okay, you caught me. Sit down. I want to talk to you about something." Liam's heart rate picked up as he sat at their small kitchen table. Kai served the pancakes, then sat across from him, taking both of Liam's hands. "Liam, we've been together for over 3 years now. You're my best friend, my business partner, my favorite person in the entire world. You've changed my life in more ways than I can count." "Kai, let me finish. I've thought about this for months, and I wanted to make sure the timing was right. Not too soon after your divorce, not during your PhD stress. I wanted to wait until you were fully established in your career, fully confident in yourself." Kai pulled a small box from his pocket and opened it. Inside was a simple, elegant ring. "I'm not asking you to marry me right now. I know that term might have complicated feelings attached. But I'm asking if you'll commit to building a life with me. If you'll be my partner in every sense of the word. If you'll wake up next to me for the rest of our lives and build something beautiful together." Tears streamed down Liam's face. "Yes, 1,000 times yes." Kai slipped the ring onto Liam's finger. Not a wedding band, but a promise ring. A symbol of their commitment without the pressure of traditional marriage. They kissed across the breakfast table, pancakes forgotten. "I love you so much," Liam whispered. "Thank you for being patient with me, for letting me heal and find myself before taking this step." "I would have waited forever," Kai replied. "You're worth every second." That afternoon, they called their families to share the news. Liam's mother cried happy tears. Kai's parents celebrated loudly in the background of the video call. Their friends demanded an engagement party. As the sun set that evening, Liam and Kai sat on their apartment balcony, wrapped in blankets and watching the city lights twinkle to life. "Can you believe where we are?" Liam mused. 5 years ago, I was in that empty house with Ethan, feeling hopeless. Now I have everything I ever dreamed of and more." "You fought for this life," Kai reminded him. "You earned it." "We earned it," Liam corrected, squeezing Kai's hand. Together, below them, the city hummed with life. Somewhere out there, other Omegas were fighting their own battles for recognition and respect. Somewhere, young researchers were chasing their dreams. Somewhere, people were leaving toxic situations and stepping into the unknown. Liam hoped his story gave them courage. He looked at the ring on his finger, catching the light. It represented so much more than a romantic commitment. It represented self-love, growth, the courage to choose yourself even when it's scary. It represented learning your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. "What are you thinking about?" Kai asked. "That I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, with exactly who I'm supposed to be with, living exactly the life I was meant to live. No regrets. Not a single one." Liam smiled. "Especially not leaving. That was the best decision I ever made." "Second best," Kai teased. "The best decision was saying yes to me." Liam laughed and pulled Kai in for a kiss. "Okay, you're right. That was the best decision." As night fell over Sterling City, they stayed on the balcony talking about their dreams for the consulting business, future research projects, maybe adopting a dog, possibly having children someday. The conversation flowed easily, full of possibility and joy. Liam had learned that leaving wasn't running away. It was running toward something better. He had learned that he was never just an Omega. He was brilliant, capable, strong, and worthy of love that celebrated him rather than diminished him. He had learned that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is choose yourself. And he had learned that the story doesn't end when you walk away from what's wrong. That's just the beginning of the story of what's right. 5 years ago, Liam left with a single suitcase and a heart full of fear. Today, he had a PhD, a career he loved, a partner who cherished him, and a future bright with promise. He had built a life worth living, a life authentically his own, and that made every difficult step of the journey worthwhile.